All right, brothers and sisters of Accounting 201. This is Brother Lewis coming to you at the beginning of week 2. I know that we're all anxious to get started with the learning. So far, all you've had is just some preparatory work getting ready for this. But one thing to note, even though this first week was kind of easy, this coming week 2 is going to be difficult. All right, so don't let the ease of the first week kind of lull you into a slumber. But let's start off with a little spiritual thought. We'll move through some of the things that are coming up, and then we'll close out. I do these videos, these announcements as videos instead of a whole long thing because there's a lot of material to cover generally week to week. And so these videos are super important for you to watch each week. All right. Important content is included, and so you don't want to miss it. But let's start off with the thought. When I serve others, I'm also serving God. Now, when we go through the words of King Benjamin, starting out in Mosiah 1 through 3, this is often one of the most quoted aspects of this part of the scriptures, and I think for good reason. I was curious as I was reading through this week about service, right? Oftentimes I think of it outside of work, outside, well, maybe even within church, maybe it's very church focused, and maybe even service to neighbors, service to people that are less fortunate. But then as I was taking thought of it this week, I was thinking of the work I do day to day at my job, and how serving in that capacity in a more godlike manner is possibly a way, right, of sharing the gospel, of spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ. And we don't have to do it overtly, like, always talking about gospel principles. We just have to act in a gospel principled manner. And so I was curious when I read through this President Joy D. Jones's talk on For Him, how that kind of shows through, kindness to others at work, uh, patience with others at work, um, understanding that we're all imperfect to some extent. And I know in many work instances, that's not necessarily seen as a positive thing. We're supposed to be tough and rough and, very direct with people on how they can improve and all that type of jazz. But maybe from a Christ-like perspective, as we work with individuals, uh, you know, uh, imperfect as we are, we'll have to show a measure of love, a measure of service to them. And so that was my thought for this week as I was going through this, and I hope somewhere along the line, as you've read through Mosiah 1 through 3, you found some nuggets that are different from the nuggets you had before, and can apply them to how you interact with others. You will definitely need that as you start this next week. I will need that because as I start a new semester, I'm trying to improve how I do things for you. And so I always encourage, let me know if some of the stuff is not working, and I will try to adjust my delivery or my support for you, my service for you, in a better way. Okay, so with that, let's just jump into the week. All right, so one thing is you get to know the modules here, right? If we click on the modules, you will see this upcoming week's activities. Oops, sorry. And so week 1, you're pretty much done. Really, all these activities, with a few exceptions, are optional, effectively. But like the where is this? There's a quiz syllabus. That definitely you need to make sure you get done. But work through them all, get them done by today, and then next week you start chapter 1. All right, this is really the starting of your learning, and they're going to take you all the way to the back end of the textbook to chapter 12, and you'll start to get a sense for not only what do you need to know now, but where are we headed in the long run, and what are you going to have to know as you get through everything else. And so chapter 1 and chapter 12 will be your primary learning for this week. There will be a presentation. Now these, I do have videos on how to do these presentations, where to get the material, and just, you know, in the announcements, sorry, I will go back to this. In the announcements, there is a link to each of the playlists for each of the weeks. I will drop in videos from time to time to make sure that I augment what's already there, but there's a significant amount of videos that I've done that help you through some of the questions that you'll have. And one of the main questions that come up in this first week is associated with presentations. So presentation signups, right? More on presentation signups. You can also do, where's the other one? Yeah, there's some videos here like T accounts and the accounting equation. There's a chapter 1 overview and a chapter 1 review. The overview is a little bit of a quick snapshot of what's coming up. The review is a little bit more in depth. And then there's even a full review. So I have like 3 videos on chapter 1. You'll also see some similar things for chapter 12, right? And then later on in the week, you'll have a quiz access and then a quiz to take. Remember, the quiz access is pretty much like a preparatory quiz. You can take it over and over and over until you get 100%. You need to at least get 85% in order to unlock the quiz for the week. All right, so quiz access, 85% completion rate unlocks the quiz. Both of those are worth a significant amount of points, each of them 100. And so you don't want to like wait till the very last minute to take the quiz access, because you'll never be able to open the quiz if you're like taking it at 11:30 p.m. and at midnight everything's locked down. So make sure you take the quiz access early enough so you can get the quiz done. And then there's some other videos on what to do here. Now, just make sure you review this presentations if you're on deck for doing the presentation in week 2. It's pretty straightforward. This video, and the more on presentation signups. Both of those will help you through if you're doing presentations next week. All right. Otherwise, so SmartBook assignments, presentations, and then your quiz access and your quiz. All right. I think that's pretty much it. Lastly, okay, so I went over the modules. Oh, a couple of things here. You'll want to make sure that if you're struggling with anything, you know, material-wise, that there are some tutoring resources. If you click on this, it'll take you to a place where you can get some information on where to get additional help. There's actually a couple of weekly study groups that meet, and one of the tutors at BYU will facilitate that. But you can find out more about that here within this tutoring resources. And then one other thing, let's see what else we need to go over. That's pretty much it. If you ever have questions, make sure you hit the syllabus first. That's the book, that's all that. And these are the videos. So I do have this one open right now. This is the week 2 playlist. I have other playlists in here, and you can actually get to those by going to the announcements, right? Make sure you read through the announcements. They come out at least once a week and sometimes more frequently, but like on this office hours YouTube links, this has all the links to each of the playlists I've done. So regardless of the week that you're in, you can go to it, or before that, you can even, you know, subscribe to my playlist. Not that I'm getting any money out of this thing, believe me. But you can go to these playlists here, and then remember, every Thursday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, I will be doing an office hours. If you're not able to make an office hours, feel free to send a question on a problem or an issue you want me to cover, and I will do it then, and I will post a video associated with it. If nobody shows up and I really don't have any additional material I believe needs to be covered, I will not post a video for that evening. But if there's something that comes up out of that office hours, I will post something. So it's kind of a hit and miss, because I do have plenty of videos already out there on YouTube. So if you have questions, usually you can go to those first, give them a review, and then ask any questions beyond that. Lastly, on the issue of questions, if you're working through a problem and you don't understand how to get to the solution and you're asking me for help, please make sure you tell me what you have done to work through the problem. Or in some cases, show me your work, A plus B equals C. I need to see that you've tried to figure out what A is, try to figure out what B is, and maybe therefore can understand what C is, but maybe you only have A and C and you don't know how to get to B. Make sure that you document for me what you've done so far in solving that problem. Don't just say, hey, Brother Lewis, I'm having a problem with problem 5 in chapter 2. Well, that doesn't help me because I don't know what you don't know or what you've done so far to try to figure it out. All right, so in those questions, feel free to send me a note via the inbox or by my direct email account, okay? Otherwise, I think that's it. I hope you have a great start of the week. Let me know if you have any questions. Take care. Bye.